guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Vicky and I love everything fragrance, body care, beauty, and I love a good haul. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please hit that subscribe button, notification bell, so you miss any of my uploads. Okay guys, so I've been wanting to do a makeup collection video forever, but because I have so much, I'm like, I don't know how to go about recording this. Didn't know if I wanted to do it in front of the camera, behind the camera. So it might be a combination of both. So this part of the video, I'm going to be starting with a declutter because I feel like it's no sense in showing items as part of the collection when like I plan on getting rid of them. So I have 2 bags of eyeshadow palettes and another bag of like some, I don't even know what's in there anymore at this point. And these, definitely the 2 eyeshadow palette bags, I had put those palettes in those bags in September, October of 2022. And I have not gone into these bags since. And they've honestly been sitting around waiting for me to record the declutter. And because I know I have not reached for any of these palettes, most likely I won't be keeping them. There is one that crossed my mind because I saw a look that popped up in my memories, and one of those palettes I think is in one of these bags, so I might hold on to that one for a little bit longer. So we'll see. Now I want to be clear, these eyeshadow palettes I'm going to be decluttering, I don't dislike them. I'm getting rid of them either because, well, mainly because I don't reach for them. I have something else in another palette that I could just use, or I just didn't like the way the palette worked for me. So I just went, maybe that does sound like I don't like it. So I say all of that to say, let's get started with my makeup collection by doing a declutter, and then not today because child, this like video number 5 or 6, so at some point I will come back, hopefully once I have pretty much everything organized, not necessarily set up how I want, but at least organized so that I know where everything is, because right now I don't. So getting everything organized, and then I can do a full-on makeup collection video. So let's start with the declutter because I'm bad. So I've got my first bag here. So it is the, I don't even know which Morphe palette this is because, oh, it's the 35F. This is the Morphe 35F Fall into Frost palette. So this is what the palette looks like. And it's a pretty neutral palette. I don't reach for it. I can't tell you the last time I've used this palette. And at this point for neutral palettes, I tend to reach for my NARS palette. Like these look like some good shades, perfect for fall, perfect neutrals. But since I don't reach for it, I don't use it in any capacity. Haven't thought about it. It's just gonna go, I'm just gonna get rid of it. Next, this is the Violet Voss Best Life palette. So that's a preview of what the shades are. And again, another palette I don't reach for, and I found it to be very messy, which is probably part of why I wasn't reaching for it. See, it's shadows falling out. Like the greens and the blues, you know, and the purples, they all look beautiful, but I don't think outside of those, I don't think I've touched any other colors in this palette. So yeah, I think I probably used this palette maybe once, but because as you can see, all that glitter and stuff is falling out all on its own without having been used. I wasn't vibing with it. Like I tried it and then it was like falling all over my face, and that's like a mess. So we're gonna trash this. Next, this is the Revolution Rose Gold Chocolate palette. I got this from Ulta, and it's also a very cute neutral palette. I don't reach for it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I bought this when I was still in school, before I was really I think I might have still had some nicer palettes then. Not to say this one isn't nice. I still say don't reach for it. So she's going in the trash. Next, this is the Violet Voss Essentials palette. And these are the shades here. Very nice shades, honestly, looking at them. And I'm pretty sure looking at that pink one, I'm sure I've used that at some point. But I don't know if you can tell, most of these other shades in here have not really been used. So it looks like that cream shimmer. Maybe I should turn it the other way so you can see the... So it looks like the pink, the plumberry, the cream, and maybe even a little bit of the black have been used, but none of the others have been used. So yeah, it's not a palette that necessarily calls to me. So since it doesn't call to me, it's going in the trash. Next, this is a Tetris palette. This might even be a quad. Oh no, it's a six pan. So this is what this one looks like. Again, more fun colors. I got this through Ipsy, so not something I went to the store and picked up. I already have palettes, like if I need pinks, purple, blue, I'm not running for this palette. I might have tried that silver, didn't really work for me, so on to the next. Next, this is Ciate, I think it's pronounced Ciate. Ciate London. It's the Editor palette. So that is 18 pans. Again, doesn't really call to me. And I don't even know if this one has been used, actually, now that I'm looking at the pans. I don't think this one's ever been used. And it's gonna go in the trash, so. The thing about me and eyeshadow palettes, I feel like it's just a sanitary thing. Even if I haven't used them, I've opened it, I might have swatched something in here. So yeah, we're just gonna put these in the trash. Next, and I'm pretty sure that Ciate London came through a subscription, either Ipsy or BoxyCharm. Same as a lot of these palettes, I will say, did come through Ipsy or BoxyCharm. So unless I say I bought it, that's how I got it. So this is Butter London. I don't know the brand. This is what the palette looks like. The colors look pretty boring. Like this one here looks kind of fun, but still the rest of them look pretty boring. And that one turquoise-ish color doesn't really seem to make sense with the rest of them. And I'm bored. What's next? Next, this is Wander Beauty Wanderous Seascape. This is what the palette looks like. I feel like I dropped it at some point, so it got that little hole in it where some of it came out. I did use that blue at some point. Nice blue, but I have other palettes with blue, so it's not necessarily something I'm rushing out to grab. This is Ace Beauty Blushed in Paradise. So this, I guess, is a blush palette. And this I got before I actually started wearing blush. So these are what the blush shades look like. They're honestly not bad looking at them, since I do wear blush now. I wasn't wearing blush then. So I don't know. I'm not going to revisit these because I have plenty of blush right now. Okay, plenty of blush. So we're just going to move on. Next, this is Seraphine Botanicus Happy Hibiscus. And it's a quad. Again, nice neutral tones. Nothing exciting and nothing that I don't already have in another palette. This is Dominique Cosmetics. Let me see what this, because usually they got some cute colors. So these are what the shades look like. They look matte. Yeah, they're all mattes. Not exciting. Next. Next, this is Tarte Dream Big. Again, more neutrals. As you can see, a lot of these palettes all look the same. So there's no sense in me having 12 palettes with the same color story. Next, this is Natasha Denona. And you can see what these look like. The shades, again, don't really call to me. This does look more like a nice fall palette, but still not something. And again, I'm looking at this. I might have used the brown in here once, just trying to see how the palette will work for me. And I don't think I ever came back to this palette. Next, I have 2 Avon palettes. Don't sleep on Avon, okay? Don't sleep on them. Because these was getting me through when I didn't have any makeup. So the first one is this one, okay? That blue shadow got me through. That blue and those browns. I don't think I ever used that orange one. Maybe I used orangey coppery. I don't know. But this definitely got me through, okay? And then there's also this one. I think this is just 2. So it's like a gold and a shimmery one. All right. Very, very old. Probably circa 2012 with these Avons. So there's other makeup items in here. One is this Stay Spray from Tarte. I don't recall ever using this. So, and I don't think I ever will. Like, I've got my setting sprays down now that work for me. So again, these came in some type of subscription. I did buy the Avons though. Next is this Hello Fab primer. I know this came in some type of subscription. Never used it. I don't know if it works. I don't know. Next, this is this Glossier makeup remover. You know, something about this, I don't know. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I didn't really use it. Next, this is Ciate London Everyday Vacay. I think this is setting spray. It jumped out my hand into the bag. You must have knew. That's what that looks like. Again, one of the many things that they send in those subscriptions. Next, this is it's too gross to put on camera. So. Next, these also look gross, but you know what? I'm gonna do it. Their foundations. This first one is Becca. It's their ultimate coverage, and this was in the shade Sienna. So that's what that looks like. So I will say this, I remember getting matched to this in Sephora, and I bought it, and I don't know if that was when they had Color IQ, or if that was, I don't know if it was Color IQ or they put it on, like gave me a little swatch on the chin and it looked good. Either way, I tried it out, and this was before I learned about how foundation oxidizes, because once this oxidized onto my skin, it got really red orangey on me, and I was looking very Oompa Loompa-ish. So yeah. Another thing I will say about my skin over the last 10, let me think, what year is 20? Probably over the last, 10 to 12 years of wearing makeup. Before my, like 20, probably before 2018, my skin had more of a reddish undertone, and I think when I was buying some of these foundations, I was still driving trucks. My face was in the sun driving, so I was definitely very red. Now I'm more of a neutral. Now that I don't be outside like that, so my skin tone changed a little bit, so now I'm more of a neutral tone. So yeah, some of these foundations had more of a reddish undertone, and just with time and tanning, I've gotten darker. So I've got two, with that being said, I've got 2 MACs. One is NW45. This is NW45, and this is NC50. So you can see I was very red and bright, because this actually matched me when I got it way back when. And then I had gotten darker, and then again my skin tone had changed a little bit, so I wasn't as red anymore. Now it's more neutral. So, and even still, another thing I found out the hard way is my skin does not like MAC foundation. It just feels too thick, too heavy on my skin, so I would like start breaking out when I would use this. So yeah, another thing that you learn just from experience. So I will not be wearing any more MAC foundation, any more liquid MAC foundation, because I do have a powder one. So the next bag is a little too heavy. It's been falling apart, so I'm just pulling the palettes out. So this first one is called Spanglish. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but that's what it looks like. And the brand name is there. It came in some subscription, so, and it's actually a very nice palette. Like, as far as the colors are right up my alley. But I just feel like, I don't know. I have used this palette. I did like it, but I feel like I have others with similar colors that I just gravitate towards a little more. I feel like with palettes, even though I do like the colors, I would like there to be some more neutral tones that I could reach for in here as well. And I just don't have that here, so yeah. Next, this is Shared Planet's Polar Bear collection. And I think this is the one I said I might hold on to for a little bit longer. So here's the palette. I think it's all shimmer. There's a couple of mattes, but what shimmer was it? I think it's this one down here that popped up on my timeline from a look I did. And I'm pretty sure it was that I had as a topper. So I want to hold on to this for a little bit. So I don't think I'm going to discard of this one. I will check around in the palettes that I already have to see. But I think I kind of like this palette. Even though it's been in that in this bag for 2 years. But that don't matter. We're going to move on. I'm going to hold on to this stuff. Next, this is the Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette. I don't know which subscription this came in on, but that's what it looks like. It's cute. I never reach for this, so I'm not gonna hold on to it because I like Huda Beauty. This one, I never got around to spinning the block on it to see if I'm ready to part with it because I paid full price for this. This is Huda Beauty's Mercury Retrograde. And my issue with the palette is, child, if I can get it straight. My issue with the palette is I just wasn't feeling like the pigments were pigmenting. Honestly, now that I'm looking at this kind of looks similar to that Shared Planet. So there's that. Like I was obsessed with this palette. Like I would always look at it. I remember it was just a random Wednesday. I was at the mall with my niece and I was like, I dragged her right back into Sephora for the umpteenth time. And she was like, just buy it. It's like the 5th time you dragged me here to look at it. I mean, they're not that similar, but they kind of are a little similar. Some of the shades I was into, like, they're not one for one. But I mean, like that whole spacey, galactic whole, is that a word? I don't know if that's a word or not, but I don't think I'm ready to part with Mercury Retrograde because I still haven't spun the block on it. So I'm going to hold on to that too. Next here, this is, what is this? It's a Tarte palette, but I don't know which one. It says Luxe Eye Palette. So it's got like the sequins here. And then it's got a huge mirror, but it's got all of these pans. It looks really nice, actually. And this was a gift, a Christmas gift to me. But I don't reach for it. Like, there was a time I was literally obsessed with glitter shadows. And I might have tried using this and I just wasn't getting enough pigment from it. I don't know. But I'm only going to keep with so many palettes. So it doesn't speak to me anymore like it once did. So I'm just going to let it go. Next, this is another Morphe palette. This is the 35R, and it's another nice neutral palette. Like, I don't know how many shades of brown and copper we need, but we need them. And I can't remember the last time I reached for this. These are some really good brown shades. I just never reached for this palette. Even though I know that, I'm cognizant of that. So I'm just gonna part with it. Next, do not come for me, y'all, because I love me some Super Scent, okay? I have the matte book right here from the crayon case. What I will say, with me in the matte book, I find that I can't get the pigments in here to pigment for me like they do for others. So, and I do find that there's quite a bit of fallout that I experience. So not only that, it came down to this and the Colored Rain palette I have somewhere. Similar colorway. So I like the way that one performs more than this one. So that's the one that I reach for. And I have tried with this palette a couple of times, so I'm just going to move on. And I recently picked up a Juvia's Place palette, I think the Culture 2, which has similar colors to this. And I like the way that one performs better. So I'm sad to part with this because, again, I love Super Scent. But there's plenty of other items in the Crayon Case line that I could definitely try out, like the blush binder, even though I don't need no more blush. And I love their makeup brushes, actually, because I do have a set. I really like them, and I might just buy another set of makeup brushes. Okay, next one. This hurts a little bit because this kind of sparked my interest with shimmery shades. This is the Starlit Glitter Palette from Makeup for Forever. Is it called? Yes, Makeup for Forever. I might hold on to this. I don't know, child, because I'm getting the warm and fuzzies again. Like, I love it. Even though I just said what I said about glitters and wanting more, I bought this specifically for the glitters. So, I don't know. That palette is sentimental to me. Like, that one's different. That's an outlier. That palette actually holds sentimental value because it's really... I think that's probably one of the first times I went into Sephora and like paid full price. Child, dumb, but still, okay. First time I was able to like go in and buy something. Like, what? You couldn't tell me nothing. Like, I can shop at Sephora now. It's easy. Next, this is Venice Fling Bailey's Syrian Estate. I don't know, y'all. Okay. Clearly, you can tell this came from some subscription. It definitely is giving Juvia's Place, okay? It's giving, we saw Juvia and we liked it. I can see that there. I can see I used a shade in here, but you know what? I already have Juvia's Place, so I don't need the contenders when I got Juvia's Place. Next, this is called It's I guess, child, I don't know. It's a little quad here, and it's never been used. So, yeah, because this actually, I just found out this actually rips off. It's never been used. Let me just, no, I've never used this. This is a Betty Boop palette. Again, one of the subscriptions. It's cute, but I'm gonna move on. Next, this is Nomad Berlin Underground. And I actually really like Nomad palettes. Oh, this one seems a little meh. So my experience with Nomad palettes is they are very pigmented. So while it might be very pigmented, the colors just don't call me to keep them. Oh, this might hurt. This is Tarteist Pro Remix. I remember hunting this palette down. So that's what the palette looks like. I'm pretty sure it was, yeah. I bought this palette specifically for this blue. That's pretty much the only one, and I might have used that purple. But I don't think I've used anything else out of this palette. So, it's very sad. I do have a couple of other blues that I could use anyways. Oh, this hurts. I recently bought this too. This is NARS. It is the Rising Star Cheek palette, and it's gorgeous, y'all. I might try again with this. I feel like I tried to use it and it just was not pigmented for me at all. So I took just these two down here. You know what, y'all? I'm gonna hold on to this too, because I don't think I had actual blush brushes when trying this. So I'm going to spin the black on this with some actual blush brushes, because maybe that's what my issue was. Uh-oh. I have a Juvia's Place palette in here. I wasn't expecting this. Girl, I'm not getting rid of this. This hasn't even been used, first of all. I don't know how this ended up in here. This has not been used. I don't know why this is in here. I need to use this. This is the Nubian Royal palette. That's what it looks like. Like, I don't know. First of all, I don't know why I'm crooked. Why my hand crooked. I don't know why it's in here. I'm gonna try this out where we're not decluttering that. So I was not keeping count, so I don't know how many palettes I just got rid of, but it was quite a few. And of those, I only saved 4. So I think I'm doing good with not hoarding everything. But y'all, at the same time, I still have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. A lot. Which is why I need a whole day to do the makeup video collection. Anyways, the makeup collection video, child. There's more random items at the bottom of the bag. First, this is the Ka-Brow from Benefit. What I will say with me and brow pomades is that they just dry out. I've tried, I think I've tried the crayon case. I've tried some off AliExpress. I've tried the Anastasia Beverly Hills. They all collectively dry out at some point, and I'm not going through the motions. I'm not heating up I'm not doing all that. So I'll use my brow and my NYX pen, and I'm good. Next, I don't even know what this is. Oh, it's lipstick. This is called Brook USA. It's a lip balm, actually. That's the shade. I don't know why it's ashy at the top, because it's never been used. Maybe that's why it's ashy at the top. Next, this is Yensa BB, this something, okay? All these little Ipsy BoxyCharm things. Pretty Vulgar eyeshadow primer. I've never used it. I missed the bag as well. Next, this is Too Faced Glitter Glue. I did buy this. I don't think this worked as well for me. I think it was like separating, even though I would like shake it and squeeze it, whatever. This is some e.l.f. concealer, and it looks entirely too light for me. Like, I'm too dark for this. So even as like a lid base, no. And this is the last bag. It's just a bunch of random stuff in here. It looks like I cleared out a bunch of concealers and lippies. So I've got 2 of these melted lippies from, I think this is Too Faced. So this purpley one is called Melted Violet, and the other one is called Melted Fuchsia. Oh, it's the Melted collection, clearly. They were, I don't know how old these are. They're old though. So I feel like I did try to use these at some point last year, maybe the year before. My lips were tingling and I knew better. I also have, listen, let me just pull these out first. Let me just ask if any of these look familiar. Do they look familiar? Do they? It's okay if they don't, but just know these were probably the first batch of ColourPop's liquid lipsticks, if not the second batch. So yeah, I tried one of these on last year. Again, I knew I shouldn't have, and I did, and my lips was tingling, so I'm like, I gotta just get rid of all of them. And they were all so cute when they were fresh and new, but they're old. This was back when ColourPop was brand spanking new. So yes, so fun. I got a couple Wet n Wilds, like, okay. I have this Fenty primer. I just didn't find that it was working for me, so I just kept it pushing. There's a Ruby Kiss lipstick in here. Y'all, don't sleep on the Wet n Wilds, the Ruby Kiss. Don't sleep on them, okay? Next, I've got all these concealers from LA Pro Girl, and one of these isn't, 2 of these aren't even open. Like, these concealers clearly had us in a chokehold. Like, clearly. Like, I definitely liked the chestnut one. That one was closest to my complexion. So I think it's this one. Definitely liked this one, but at some point they're old, so sometimes you just gotta let things go. Okay. Looks like there's another, this is a Ruby Kiss concealer that's not open, it's still sealed. Child, it's all I know I got too much stuff. I have a Ruby Kiss and a Laura Geller mascara. Oh, probably never used them. This is another ColourPop lipstick. It's one of their mattes. Like, y'all, these are from the archives, okay? Like, it might be a couple more in here. Yep, it's one more. See? ColourPop, let me put this back down. ColourPop lippy sticks. Y'all, these from the archives, okay? They're so old, they're ashy. Like, but when they were new, these colors were everything. I definitely had my lipstick phase where I was obsessed. This is the Wonder Lash from the Rimmel London. I think this one was dried out. Next, this is the Nourishing Lip Tint. It's in the, I don't even think I wore this. This is in the Barely There shade. It's in the bag, so it's just gonna go. I think it was the pink one I tried and I didn't like it, but I tried the wine one on the other day and I was like, this is actually cute. Y'all, do y'all remember these? Do y'all remember these? Let's see, is this wiped off? These little Farsalis. Okay, there were so many of them. I don't know what all of them were for, but like, we were all buying into the Farsali hype, okay? So, I know I had a full-size liquid glass one somewhere. I need to find that so I can get rid of it unless I already tossed it in the trash. So yes, this is the start of my makeup collection and I've been talking a long time. So I don't know how we're gonna go about it. I might just have a makeup declutter and then record the makeup collection separately since I've been talking for a minute. So I don't think we want a 2-hour makeup collection video, even though some of y'all say y'all do. We really don't. We don't want 2 hours. So yeah. So this is my makeup declutter, my first makeup declutter. I'll probably declutter more as I go through the collection to assess what I have. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in my next video.